Hello, everyone, and I just wanted to briefly update you on what has been going on with me lately. It's been about a year since I last posted anything, and so I thought I would just briefly discuss what's been taking place and some thoughts that I have. I also apologize about the video quality. Being in the place that I am, I don't have access to really good camera angles or really a lot of really great technology. I'm just basically using my computer webcam and just winging this in a lot of ways. I have been involved in doctoral studies at a undisclosed university since May of 2022. So for a little bit over a year now, and that has been taking a lot of my time. I was not a very big video uploader to begin with. I spent, and I continue to spend, a lot of my time writing journal articles, writing magazine articles, doing a lot of uh, archival research and primary source research. And so when I have the opportunity to take a break and to just kind of relax, if you will, then I might have some moments to record some videos. I was uploading some of the Amarna letters, a project that I still want to finish. And I want to eventually, at some point, not only do the recordings, but also do some play acting ones. But that is going to be definitely in the future. And probably if I get the opportunity to record any more Amarna letters, that's going to be during the holidays, and I'll probably do one or two and then upload them in a larger batch. Um, Being a doctoral student, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of reading, there's a lot of writing. I am involved this semester in an on campus class. And so my time is very limited. I'm also doing a couple of personal things as well as working a very part time job, almost volunteering with how much I get paid in order to pay child support to take care of that as much as I can. So there is a lot taking place and a lot that has demands on my time and my attention. And so videos just simply don't often uh, make the top of the list as to priorities. And that is something that I wish I could do more of, and that is something that I wish that was something that I was good at, but I'm not good at technology. And I also feel sometimes that there are a lot of videos here on YouTube that, well, a lot of them that do a great job of talking about history, and a lot of videos that do a very bad job, very poor job of talking about history. And so I have often had complaints that videos on YouTube about history are often very misleading, especially in their titles and their graphics, as well as they don't go into the nuance of the arguments and the discussion. And for me, I have, like I said, I spend a lot of my time, if I'm not doing anything else, I am reading primary source histories. I'm reading secondary histories. I'm reading very high level secondary sources. And so through that process, I've become very familiar with a lot of the arguments, with the back and forth, becoming familiar with what's called the historiography of any given issue. And when you become familiar with the historiography of a topic, and as extensively as I can get, then when you watch a video where the presenter is making that presentation and saying something, then you can begin to think, well, that's not 100% accurate, or that's this person's opinion, but I've read 2 or 3 other books that differ on it. I tend to begin to start thinking about all of those arguments and the nuances, and it becomes kind of a chore for me rather than entertainment, which is something that I don't generally do during historical movies. During historical movies, I can tend to shut it off a little bit. I don't go into any kind of analysis mode where I'm watching the movie critically and trying to pull it apart and nitpick it. A lot of times, even for me, I'm watching movies about historical events that they kind of spark my interest and get me to reading a book on a particular battle or person or event. And, that does not by any stretch of the imagination make me an expert. I have a very narrow range of expertise, and that is actually the process of the doctoral program. It's to very narrowly define your specialty. Now, when you're out there teaching in schools, you're expected to oftentimes have a very wide breadth of knowledge. And oftentimes, when I was teaching in Mongolia and also South Korea, I was tapped to teach early American history, so Revolutionary War, independence struggle. Then I might have to hop into the next classroom and teach ancient Near East, and even for a semester, I taught Chinese history, something that I'm very not familiar with. And a lot of times I spent my time in the evening before class the next day reading Chinese history. I'd be reading it during the week and just trying to pack in as much as possible. And so there's a lot of work to be done. I know this is a very rambling video, and I'm going to try to give it a little bit more clarity and specificity here in a moment. So I still find myself, even while I'm doing my doctoral program, I still have these opportunities to read books and to get into sometimes what are areas of hobby interest, and then can turn into, in the future, something that I can do work-wise. So, for example, this book here, and I'll try not to cover the cover too much, it's Crusaders by Dan Jones. It's a very interesting book, and the chapters are nice and short. They're only about 10 to 12 pages long, and each night I try to read at least one chapter before I go to bed. And it's just vignettes. It's short stories about individual episodes or very condensed retellings of certain periods and events during the Crusades. And it's a really great way to just continue to read history, and to do so from the original standpoint that first attracted me to history, and that is through the hobby and through hobby reading. So let me see if I can circle the square here, or square the circle. So my time is often very taken up. I'm usually reading from about 9 in the morning and working until noon. Then I take anywhere from half hour to 45 minutes for lunch and to do other chores. And then from 12:45 until 5 o'clock, apart from some short breaks, or even 5:30, I am doing, again, reading or writing, typing responses to articles, doing outlines, doing book reports, doing annotated bibliographies. Next Tuesday, I have a presentation to make in front of my class. And then in the evening, generally about this time, 7 o'clock until about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm going through yet another book and doing other research, because sometimes the assigned homework takes up a good portion of my afternoon, and then that after that, I get the opportunity to continue to do my own research. I am therefore just not able to spend time on developing a script and working on videos and to put together the graphics and other things like that. I was able to put together a lot of the videos that I did because I was working as a teacher in Mongolia. And those videos were uploaded to the school website and were used for the online lessons that we had during the pandemic. And so I was being paid to do that. That was my job for 8 hours a day. And even then, during that time, I did try to do a little bit of research, but I found myself not able to handle the research depth that I wanted to obtain, and also trying to have the mental capacity and the physical capacity after doing all of that work to do the research. And so I ended up doing a lot of the research during the summer break, and I was very happy to then be able to transfer all of that work into just a short burst of writing, which did result in actually 2 journal articles which were published. One journal article that was published while I was there, and then one that got published in the middle of last year, 2022, on Ugarit. That one had originally been done in February of 2021, but with a lot of delays and other problems, I had to put it off. And then in the early part of last year, I was able to clean it up and then get it published. And so, as you can see, I'm just always so busy. There's always something new to go into. There's always something I'm reading, putting a bookmark there. A lot of times I will, it's not as probably as visible here, but so this is probably a bit more visible. You can see these flags that I put in the book. And this is just research notes. I mean, this is where I can go back and these are just from one chapter. And I can go back to items that I'm very interested in that I want to follow up on. These will likely become elements in my dissertation, which I'm not even sure what my dissertation is at this point. I have not gotten that to that stage yet. And I'm not sure that I will be getting to that stage with this current university. I'm hoping that I can actually change. It's very important to choose wisely where you're going to go to school and do your work. And I'm hoping that I'm not too far along and far too deep into these studies in order to change my universities. But I do hope that I can, in order to make sure that I can finish this degree program and this doctoral study with a precision and with credibility that I will be able to enjoy and be able to utilize. I'm not going to talk about what I am studying because there's a lot of advice about not doing that, getting that out into the public very early. And also, again, there's really not much to talk about and to be established. If you have Googled me and if you have found the items that I have posted online, which have been printed and already run in the journals, then you'll probably get an idea, something of an idea of what I am studying right now. And generally, so right now, even though I've been in classes for a year and a half, I've only taken about 5 classes. So I am not really, even in a technical sense, in a second year. And usually it's within your second year that you make a decision about what you're going to do for a dissertation. Right now, it's just study, study, study. But there are certain themes that I am still trying to pursue. and keep abreast of as I am going through. One of the advantages that I have in that area, especially this semester, is that I am doing an ancient Near Eastern class. And so in that ancient Near Eastern class, I'm able to write about some topics and focus on some things which I really want to, while I'm also receiving some very good feedback, support, and ideas from my professor. And he is somebody who's been in the field for many, many years. And sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes even when you have the best professor in the world, sometimes your egos can clash. And there's been a little bit of bong bong kind of bumping there. But I think all in all, things are beginning to kind of even out. But yeah, so as you can tell, my time is just super full. And when I took a class called Teaching History, that was 8 weeks. And then we finished, and I take these 8 week semesters where you take 16 weeks of assignments in class and squeeze them into the middle of and into the space of just 8 weeks. And so we had assignments due every week, sometimes twice a week. You've got your paper to do, you've got your minor assignments to turn in, you've got discussion boards to upload. And of course, I'm the kind of person where the professor says a minimum of 700 words, and I'm checking myself, and I'm like, oh, I'm at 3,000 words now. When should I cut myself off? And that has seriously happened a lot, just simply because I'm so into my studies, and I get so hyper-focused that it's very hard for me to know exactly how to pace myself and stop. So after I got done with that 8 week semester, I took barely 2 or 3 days off, didn't really do a lot. And then I went back right into a project for a journal, and I won't talk about the specific journal or anything like that, but been working on a project that started very early this year, has not even gotten finished. Well, it got finished, it got an initial review. I'm going back, making some changes, hardening some things up, sharpening and taking the edges off, and then resubmitting. But that is likely not going to be until middle of December, January, because I'm just so full. And it took that 8 weeks to really, excuse me, really redo everything. I pulled up the planks, if you will. I mean, I had something built, there was a framework and something to work with. I reviewed what I had written 8 weeks prior, kind of came away with a feeling that I didn't like it, and I felt like I needed to redo things. So I did. And had some very good feedback, some very honest feedback. And, you don't always get it right the first time out. And I'm just going to share a little honesty with my audience, try to be appropriately transparent. This is a bit of a new subject area for me. This was a bit of an area where I was learning literally learning and researching at the same time. Sometimes when you're well into your professional life and your career, there are certain areas that you're going to research and take on, and you're going to just have those things click, boom, boom. You're going to your source, you're double checking things, but you're already pretty sure that you're on top of things. There may be other aspects of that you're not as 100%, and that's where you tend to focus your research time and really getting down into the nuts and bolts of things. However, in this case, It was a very different process, and I still feel like I need to um, consult with some people and talk with some people and to double check some things here and there. It is the way that I have worked before. Most of the time, it has been successful, but uh, this area is a little bit more complex, a little bit more fluid and dynamic, especially given that it's fairly recent history. Uh, and just really quick, just wanted to say I'm very happy about the fact that talking about recent history, I was able to get a notice that I will have 500 pages of unclassified documents sent to me from the United States military. It's really a range of sources: Air Force, Army, Navy. Uh, I'm going to hold off on the specific announcement. Maybe I'll tease this and try to upload a video where I go into details. But, anyways, it's 500 pages of responsive documents to a FOIA request. And so I'm very happy about that. And I think that it's going to give what I have been doing, what I am doing, a real boost, especially with the ongoing project. Now, how does that relate to a couple of the other things? Well, I'll go back. So, as you can see, I'm very serious about what I do. And with an MA degree and with 12 years of publications, I think that I have definitely gone way beyond the label of amateur, or there's another word, I don't even use it. But anyway, I definitely know that I am skilled, and I keep working to hone those skills and keep those skills sharp. And one of the things which I have done all throughout what I would definitely define as a career is to keep myself flexible and able to address both ancient and modern Middle Eastern history, or ancient Near East and also modern Middle East military history. And so these documents will be responsive to the modern Middle East history in military terms. And so I think that's going to give me an opportunity to have some additional open doors, especially since my current research is proving to be a little bit more frustrating than I anticipated. And it is also difficult to find an institution where I can transfer to that they want to take on the topic that I am wanting to deal with, because doing a doctoral level study is already in many ways marrying, like getting involved in a marriage. And that is definitely the case when you do your dissertation. Once you've got your topic, once you've been approved and you've gotten the green light to go forward and writing this thing, basically you might as well start taking marriage vows of, do you, James Bowden, take this topic to be your lawfully wedded topic to have and to hold for better or for worse for the rest of your life? Because this will definitely define you in so many ways. And it might actually help you get a job, might keep you from getting many other jobs. And so for me, the struggle to come up with a topic has been one of those big ones that has plagued my decision process and my thought life and my religious life for quite some time. So anyways, a lot of things to cover, a lot of things on my mind. So just kind of to recap, I'm in doctoral level studies. Very busy, very little time. So I don't have a lot of time to become a digital content creator and to take on that role. Number two, I'm not even sure that I would take on the role of digital content creator if I had the time, because my time otherwise is spent in doing research and primarily writing. And I really enjoy writing. I really enjoy expressing those ideas. And it is the closest, yes, I am in a lot of ways an author. And it is hoped that someday these will be a book. And I do hope to actually take on a book level study at some point. Also, I'm not a content creator, not only because do I lack the skills and the technology to create content, but I often eschew content unless it is through something like a PBS documentary or something by the Old History Channel or something like that, because in those presentations they have editorial review, they also have content review, they generally have a historian do a peer review, and so there is control over the content. They're able to introduce the alternatives and the differing opinions in a proper way and to manage those and not provide something that is very simplistic and unnuanced. And so I think that that is a very important thing. Eventually, if I have some opportunities and time, I will try to upload more of the Marna letters read. Eventually, I would like to, if I get blessed with some real excess time and opportunities, I might invest in a high quality camera and try to do some performance of the Amarna letters. But that is very much right now in the nebulous dream area and not in the reality area. And things are progressing and things are slowly getting to where I can get some additional research material. And the FOIA request is especially a big thing on my mind because I filed that FOIA request in April of 2022. I have been in this apartment, this place behind me and above me. I have been in this place since May of last year. And so I'm thinking, my gosh, I have been here 16 months, and it was 17 months ago when I first started this FOIA process. And so I am very anxious and hoping that the American government does not shut down, does not go through one of these politically chaotic and blame game scenarios. Because if it does shut down on Saturday, then all those employees who are processing my FOIA request are going to have to go on leave until somebody, gets their stuff straight. And then it will be a few days after that this stuff will be sent out to me. And so when you read, Mr. Bowden, your FOIA request will be sent out to you in days, not weeks, then you're like, please send it out now. Avoid the noid, avoid the shutdown. All right, so I rambled on for a while, about half an hour. I hope you enjoyed this video. I carved out this half an hour. I'm going to try to carve out another half hour here in just a few moments after I take a couple of swigs of water and talk about something completely different, but something that's been on my mind for quite a while. And then I might see you later. Thank you.